Well, how are the gentlemen of the orchestra this evening?
Fine. Listen to this.
That's all right. Say, don't do that. Don't do that. You make me nervous. I have 8 home already. I'm going to try and sing you a little song, a little thing entitled, When the Sun Sows His Wild Oats, It's Time for the Father to Thrash. My sweetheart is a florist, and when his love he tells, from roses and geraniums, he hands me lots of smells. I cannot love that livery man, for money I cannot, for a greenhouse has a fragrance that his stable it ain't got. You know, I always feel better after singing that song, and I certainly do feel happy this evening. I just received this dispatch that my brother will not die. He will not die. It's from Ohio.
Well, read it.
Your brother will not die next Friday. The governor...
I see.
Now, who is to blame for all of this?
Well, who is to blame?
Why, the trust. Let me draw you a picture. Come with me to the slums of this great city. Get in an elevator and climb 14 flights of rickety stairs. Entering that basement next to the roof, what do you behold? Seated around an oil stove are 14 small children.
14?
14 small children, the oldest scarcely 2 years old, all crying for pie. Why?
Well, why?
Why, the high cost of living. Everything is going up. I suppose now my brother will be
What?
gone. I meant to say that since they put a tariff on lumber, board is getting higher. I know that meals are coming up. You can't keep a 15-cent dinner down. And now they have an undertaking trust.
Is that so?
Why, funerals are getting so high the poor man can't even afford to die. Of course, it wasn't going to cost my brother nothing to die. I meant to say that seated around an oil stove are 14 small children.
14?
These children should have lots of money. Their father was a rich porter in a bank.
Yes?
And he died and left lots of money.
Is that so?
In the bank. They shot him while he was trying to get it out.
Oh, I see.
And yet we wonder at crime. Well, I was reading this morning's paper where 2 burglars broke into John D. Rockefeller's home the other night. They were very lucky burglars.
Lucky burglars?
I should say so. They got out without losing anything. So I said to the other burglar...
What?
Seated around an oil stove are 14 small children. When hark, there's a knock at the door, and the landlord enters and tells him he's going to raise the rent. That's very kind of the landlord.
Why?
Why, because they can't raise it themselves, which brings us down to the law of compensation. Now, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Neither do I, so I'll explain. The law of compensation is if you lose one part of your anatomy, the other part is going to become stronger. For instance, if you have 2 strong eyes, you lose one eye, the one eye will be as strong as the 2 eyes were before you lost the one, and you'll take just as big an eye opener in the morning. Or if your back is bent in the front of your back, the front of your back will be straighter than the back of your back. Or if you have one short leg, the other leg is bound to be longer.
Well?
Well, seated around an oil stove with these 14 small children.
14?
14 small children. There they've sat for the past 30 years.
30 years?
No, say, what am I going to do with these kids anyhow? I think I'll sing another song and kill them off. The modern woman says the morning we'll awake and find we'll have a woman president, her men are left behind. Well, when that morning it arrives that man's laid on the shelf, why, that's the morning that I want to oversleep myself. For when that glorious day arrives that her reforms are found, why, that's the day that single men will go and jump the town. For when the old hens run the thing, they'll run it in the stoop, and all us henpecked roosters, we will have to fly the coop.